Hey guys, Valkyrie here, and today I'm doing Seduce me the Otome, and I'm doing Matthew's route because Ren Senpai and Winter asked for Matthew, and last night I tried recording it with them and I couldn't because they was making me laugh too much. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoy Matthew's route. This is a fictional narrative. Any character resemblance to real-life people are purely coincidental. Also, please know that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. If you're 16, wonderful. If you're under 16, guys, I request that you click off the video. Thank you. Also, if my voice is really down, it's because I'm not very well again. I'm always not very well when I'm recording these things. Please know that sexual violence themes are explored in this game. Triggered warnings, abuse, implied rape, and suicide. You have been warned, guys, so please enjoy.
Why, hello. My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
Yes, my dear, you can know our name. We are Phil.
A lovely name. For a lovely person like
I have
you.
a cold, guys. So
Wonderful.
You're gonna have to forgive me if I sniffle.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Renpai Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it, since you'll be in it.
Michaela is an awesome person, guys. I'll put her in the description. Same as with all the voice actors, because they do a really good job in this game. Renpai is a really good visual novel engine. I'm currently using it myself to make my own visual novel, and it's really cool once you get to know how to use it, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the videos.
Eric.
Fine. Farewell, my sweet.
Bye bye. Somewhere. That made me jump again.
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
No, I don't want to try you, asshole.
Crap! Missed.
Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Call it fate or call it coincidence, that one moment in violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory. It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Rain. It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here. But it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell like the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having this seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention in class. The lectures in the class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips's voice wasn't so prolific, but I wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments I had to do. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it was up to me, I'd probably have taken another course. Luckily, it's my senior year, so after this semester, it can mean the end of high school for courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on, as if there was no end to it. The only thing that I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them, but that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometime next in a few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class.
Miss Anderson.
Oh shit, we got caught. Mrs. Phillips's raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Let me do that. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I've read about this in the textbooks last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather my surname. No doubt since the surname was the trademark of the international famous and philosophical Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
From beside me, I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words.
She means good job.
Miss Capini.
Oi!
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Scholes. Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Just gonna take a drink, guys. One drink, that's better. Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched in her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity to stick together as much as we could. I'm just going to turn that background music down a little bit. There we go. Okay. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other and then say compared to being around other classmates. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it out to the 3 desks. We pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we stepped back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was first to look at any issues. She lightly tapped her pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Suzu straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name? Huh? Did we really skip over that? Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our project. At least we caught it this time. What do we name it? Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me, whenever there was something to be named or titled. I was the master and ending decision, even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
Trinity Corporations is quite cool.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
Okay.
What do dragons have to do with our project? What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot. But our company sells bubble gum. Who said we can't produce spicy bubble gum?
No, she sounds quite cool.
What do you think? Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it was up to me, I would say... And knowing the boys, it'd be I Light the Dragon Company.
Booyah! Dragon Company it is! Alright, now that we've decided on a
Excuse me,
name,
guys.
now what?
As we entered our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Huh? Who was that?
Ignore it, it's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were particularly friends with everyone in the school. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the centre of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated that she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something. Are you sure she's not a robot? I think she may be a robot. I think so. But she was the student that everybody else wanted to be. Lisette Bright was easygoing and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Pinky little princess then. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to be, wanted to do right after high school. And as a result, she was confident and ambitious. Though sometimes it could rub off a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued even today. Of course, my friends knew that was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
Are you sure about that?
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time. Let's bail.
Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strode out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
I wish I was that fastest skeleton here. Naomi folded her arms as close to her chest, giving me a disappointed look.
Oh, not you, too. She's turning you into a delinquent.
I was already a delinquent, Naomi. Come on. It was a joke, Naomi.
Well, it's not really funny.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst out into laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them wouldn't even associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personalities just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously
Sorry,
spicy
guys.
bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
I would.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste.
I like spicy stuff. You do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of foods. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that.
If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
I was like this with my friends in high school. I think I'll go with... Now, I like spicy. I like tuna. And I've never had just mac and cheese and soda, so I'll just have a mac and cheese and soda. That sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Susan leaned back into her chair, tilting it back so she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
All right then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys, and I'm not gonna be happy.
Say boys, and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
Oh, girlfriend.
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there's not many interesting guys in the school we go to. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafeteria started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The sky had turned dark, though I couldn't see anything underneath the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people around me weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone, I can't even say the word, ululux. We'll get there. That floated through my ears, reminding me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made up of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops and umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me where my father was standing, holding up a large umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth grey tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small, only close family were allowed to come. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me up behind at the grave. A man dressed in clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as my grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of this lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had only a family estate at 18. That was impossible, and yet it was written in my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in.
Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't much sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think I was the one appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
David!
Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him.
Really?
Why don't we get back
That
home
didn't
for
seem like
now?
it, Mom. You go ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty save for the sudden-looking grave that was in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love of toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favourite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too well again. He'd always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling very well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Ooh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work had been put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'd be like it's alive, and it could be like it's a little nightlight before you go to sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide.
Do I?
Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
Tell that to Dad. That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tad bits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing was wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then to my chest.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles again. Promise. Upon hearing that, my grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then. Enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you left me with so many questions, especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? I'm talking to a grave. My vision blurred and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I'll try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the graveyard, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided that it was that time to talk. Dad, could I ask you something? And on that note, my darlings, I'm going to stop this video here. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Seduce, and this is going to be Matthew's playthrough. So, yep, I hope you enjoyed, my dears, and I will see you in the next video. Johnny.